Welcome to Witchcraft and Wrinkle Cream, the podcast where skin rituals become soul rituals and self-love becomes a sacred rebellion. I'm Ashley Branham, licensed esthetician, skin witch, and your high priestess of the Glow Coven. Together, we're unlearning perfection, embracing sensuality, aging with power, and reclaiming our confidence, the kind that got buried under beauty culture bullshit. Here, we're shedding shame and learning to love the skin we're in at every age and every stage. So light a candle, pour your potion, and let's begin the ritual. Welcome back, besties, to Witchcraft and Wrinkle Cream. I am your host, Ashley, your resident skin witch, and, well, I officially have a teenager as of tomorrow. So this episode is dropping on Tuesday. He turns 13 on Wednesday, and I cannot freaking believe it. As a licensed esthetician, full-time skin witch, and devoted skincare educator, you'd think I'd have this teen skin thing on lock. But the truth? Getting a teenager to wash their face is basically witchcraft. Routines are hard, hormones are hell, and the pressure from peers, parents, and social media to have perfect skin can be extremely overwhelming. It's no wonder that so many teens and their parents panic and reach out for the harshest, strongest thing on the shelf. But here's the truth. Most teens don't need more products or harsh products. They need more support, more softness, more guidance, and routines that do not feel like punishment. So today, we're busting myths, simplifying routines, and walking you through what teen skin actually needs with no shame, no judgment, and definitely no 10-step TikTok routines. Whether you're a teen trying to figure this out yourself, a parent navigating skin stress, or just someone whose inner teen is still healing from those clean and clear commercials, this episode is for you. Let's begin the ritual. All right, let's talk about the first instinct most people have when they see a breakout, especially on a teen. Attack mode. Harsh foaming cleanser, check. Scrubby pads, check. Burn your face off acne treatment that smells like chemicals and pain, double check. And look, I get it. I have been there. There's this belief that breakouts equal dirty skin, and if you just dry it out, the acne will magically go away. But here's the real truth. Inflamed skin does not need to be punished. It needs to be protected. Most teen skin is already hormonal, inflamed, dehydrated, freaking out from internal and external stress. So what happens when we pile on the scrubs, alcohol-based toners, and drying acne creams? Barrier damage, overproduction of oil, yes, you heard that right, more breakouts, more frustration, and often completely giving up on skincare altogether. It's a vicious cycle, one that I see all the time, even with adults who were conditioned as teens to treat their skin like the enemy. So if your teen is dealing with breakouts, blackheads, or texture, I want you to take a deep breath and stop trying to look for a fix. This isn't about scrubbing their skin into submission. It's about supporting it through this wildly transitional phase with patience, care, and a few solid, gentle products. Okay, so now that we've talked about what not to do, let's talk about what actually works, the basics. Because teen skin does not need 10 steps. It needs the right 3 or 4, max. Cleanse gently and consistently. Twice a day is ideal, especially if they're dealing with oil, sweat, or sports. But remember, keep it creamy and keep it calm. My picks: Skin Script Pomegranate Cleanser, smells like a smoothie and feels like a hug. Or Skin Script Green Tea Cleanser, balancing and breakout friendly without being stripping. Step 2, moisturize. Yes, even oily skin needs a moisturizer. Skipping moisturizer is one of the fastest ways to trigger more breakouts. Dehydrated skin overproduces oil to protect itself. And here we go again. My pick, SkinScript Light Aloe Moisturizer. This is her moment, oil-free, lightweight, and won't clog pores or feel heavy. Basically, the introvert of moisturizers, does the job, doesn't make a fuss. Also, SkinScript's Cactine Balancing Moisturizer. Yes, it does have oils in it, but those oils are safe for already oily acne-prone skins. The key is, once you add oil to the skin, it doesn't feel like it needs to produce as much oil to protect itself. So it will eventually balance things out. Next step, SPF, because future glow is built now. I know, but hear me out. UV damage starts very young, and acne treatments can make skin more sun sensitive. My picks would be Kona Spray SPF, invisible, quick drying, and perfect for kids who want zero effort, literally. It's great for sports, pool days, and on-the-go protection. Also, the Kona Brush On SPF. It's a mattifying powder format that disappears into the skin. It is ideal for teens who wear makeup, get shiny throughout the day, or just want something that doesn't feel like a product on the skin. I love both of these products. I myself have oily skin. I've battled extreme hormonal acne in my adult years. And honestly, so far in my career, these two are some of the best SPF products that I have tried to date. So just throwing that out there. They leave no white cast. There's no excuses. And yes, it works for all skin tones and all genders. They disappear into the skin. Step 4, we're going to spot treat with intention. Stop waging war on your breakouts. A single targeted product is all you need. Dab, don't smother. You want to look for things with sulfur, tea tree, or a gentle salicylic acid. Stick to treating the pimple, not the entire face, and do not pick. Trust me, scars are way harder to treat later. My pick for this step would be SkinScript's Blemish Spot Treatment. It is a combo glycolic and salicylic acid. These two acids are literally the dream team. Glycolic acid is water-based. It sinks deep down into the skin and helps with cell regeneration and turnover on the surface. Salicylic acid is oil-based, so it works on dissolving the oil and keratin that sink down and clog the pores. So a quick recap. This is your ritual. Cleanse, moisturize, protect, and treat. You do not need harsh. You need helpful. You do not need perfect, you need consistent. And when that's not enough, don't panic. We've got the gentle upgrade coming up next. So, what if you or your teen is doing the basics and still breaking out? First of all, take a deep breath. It's totally normal. Hormones are wild. But if they're dealing with mild to moderate acne, those consistent breakouts, blackheads, or red inflamed spots, these add-ons can help without overwhelming the nervous system or their skin. So sheet masks are a great place to start. Patchology has the Good Fight sheet masks. They also have the kit called All the Feels, which the Good Fight is one of the masks in that kit. Why I love them: they're gentle, they have acne-friendly ingredients, calming and cooling. They're great for breakout support without stripping the skin. And a bonus, I find that teens actually enjoy using sheet masks. So that is my first pick. Patchology Pimple Patches. These are the real MVP for teens who pick or who just want to do something when a pimple shows up. Why they work: they create a barrier so you don't pick and make things worse. They help to flatten pimples overnight and feel like tiny little magic stickers, because they are. And they're totally clear and discreet. Sometimes you can even apply makeup over them. I've never tried and I hear mixed results as to whether or not it actually works. Everyone kind of has a different relationship with pimple patches. But you need to encourage them to think of it like a little Band-Aid for their face, not a punishment or shame cover-up. We're not about shame here. Next is LED light therapy, particularly blue light, which targets acne-causing bacteria. Why it works: kills breakout bacteria, soothes inflammation, completely painless, and screen scroll compatible. Great for teens who won't remember to use products, but will sit with a glowing mask on. So I highly recommend the ones that you can get that are rechargeable and cord-free. You can literally wear them anywhere. I just upgraded my personal LED mask from one that had to plug into the wall to now one that is rechargeable, and I'm obsessed with it. They're relatively affordable. I have a whole blog post on my website kind of detailing how to pick out an LED mask if you would like to check that out, or hit me up in my DMs and I will point you in the right direction. The next one is ice rollers or cold compresses. It's a skin-safe way to reduce those big angry breakouts. Why it helps: it reduces redness, puffiness, and heat, can calm the skin and the nervous system. It feels soothing. It's like a cold hug for their face. It's honestly, I love a good cold rolling or ice rolling, especially in the summertime, but even in the wintertime, it's fantastic. It just, trust me, so good. Just make sure that they're not rubbing literal ice cubes on bare skin. We want to be safe. I highly recommend getting an ice roller. You can buy them pretty much everywhere now. Five Below generally has them. You can get them off of Amazon. Again, if you would like some direction, you can hit me up in my DMs and I can point you where you need to go. So add-ons aren't about fixing, they're about supporting. And the best ones are simple, consistent, and fun. Next up, let's talk about what teens and their parents really need when it comes to skin, because this is about way more than pimples. Let's be real. Teen skin is about so much more than breakouts. It's about identity, confidence, that awkward, fragile stage where you're growing into yourself and everything feels so loud. And when your skin doesn't cooperate, it's not just a cosmetic issue. It can feel personal, like your face is betraying you, like you have to fix it to be worthy. That pressure is heavy, and what teens need more than another product is support, language, ritual, consistency, permission to care for their skin without shame or obsession. For any teens that might be listening, your skin is not your value. You are not your acne. You don't have to suffer in silence. You are allowed to take care of yourself even when you don't see instant results. Your skin is learning just like you are. Here are a few mantras that you can try. I'm allowed to love my skin while it heals. I care for my skin because I care about myself, not because I want to be perfect. I'm not doing it wrong. I'm just learning. For parents, caregivers, and Skin Witch aunties, keep it simple. They are already overwhelmed. Offer tools, not pressure. Create a ritual. Maybe you do your skincare together, even if it's just 2 minutes at the sink. Focus on consistency, not control. Praise the effort, not the outcome. And remember, if they're struggling, it doesn't mean you failed. This is a season, not a skin sentence. I would also like to add, I don't know why I didn't put this in my notes, but this is something that has always bothered me a lot. I would like to talk about the language that we use when referring to skin, our teen's skin. I have, and it's not, I don't think it's ever done with malicious intent, but I've heard so many parents talk about their child's skin using words like bad or even horrible. Not like your skin is horrible, like your acne, you have horrible acne, or your pores are enormous, pointing out, like, oh, look at that juicy black head. We already have so much societal pressure to be perfect, to look perfect. Look at the rise of injectables. It used to be just celebrities getting Botox and filler, and now there are Botox parlors in every small town across America. And, no shade if you get injectable cosmetics. That's not what the conversation we're having. It's just become so prevalent, and teens are seeing that. Teens are absorbing that pressure. Also, like, it's not healthy for adults either to constantly be under this pressure to look perfect. And by using negative or derogatory language when talking about your skin or your teen's skin, it imprints, and it is something that they will carry for the rest of their lives. To you, it may just be a passing comment like, oh gosh, your acne has gotten so bad lately. To them, they are going to hear that in their head every time they look in the mirror well into their 30s. And I'm speaking from personal experience. Not to call anyone out, but my stepmother was very unkind when it came to talking about all of our skin. She did it with me. She did it with her own daughters. She did it about herself. She used negative language like confetti when talking about skin, weight, what have you. And as a 35-year-old woman, I still hear her voice every time I look in the mirror. A lot of it was directed at herself, but I still absorbed that, and I still carry that burden with me of remembering these conversations of my stepmother and her female friends talking shit on their own bodies. And as a 15, 16, 17-year-old girl, absorbing that and internalizing that, and I cannot let it go. So this isn't to call anyone out. This isn't to shame anyone. I would just like going forward to remind everyone to just be mindful when you talk about your own skin, when you talk about your child's skin, when you talk about somebody else's skin. Again, we have so much societal pressure to be perfect. You look at any comment section on any given Instagram profile, whether it's home decor, crafting, or beauty, and there are more people talking shit on this person's hobbies or skin or what have you than complimenting. And a lot of it's bots. A lot of it is children who don't have fully developed brains and see the adults and emulate what the adults in their lives are doing and saying. And I just want us as a society, now this is this is a me crusade. I want us as a society to move past this. I don't know that it'll ever happen, but I am doing my best and my damnedest to make sure that the people in my life, that my clients, that my friends, that my family are slowly relearning to reframe how we talk to ourselves and how we talk to and about other people. More love, guys. More love. That's it. That's the soapbox. Let's move on. All right, it is time for the card pull. And our prompt for today is: what energy wants to guide us through the season of change, growth, and learning to care for ourselves gently? And we had a jumper. Let's see. Oh my gosh. We have the 9 of Wands. And this is so funny. I do a daily card pull in my Instagram stories, and that is one thing that I batch. So I pull 7 cards every either Sunday afternoon or Monday morning, take pictures of the cards, and then come up with the captions and the interpretations for each card. And the 9 of Wands came up for one of the cards this week. I can't exactly remember, but it's so funny that it's coming up again. Now, the Wands is the suit of fire. It is the suit of creative energy. And you know that I love to read from the guidebook. Now, I am using a different deck than what I normally use. Normally I use the Modern Witch Tarot, but I left that at the office yesterday. I forgot to bring it home. So I have pulled out the Morgan Greer Tarot deck, and the Morgan Greer Tarot is much like the Modern Witch, is a almost exact copy or duplicate of the original Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, if you're at all familiar with tarot. If you're not, this means nothing to you. But each deck is created with slight creative differences. A lot of times they're carbon copies, just the artwork is updated to an artist's personal preference, and that's primarily what's going on here with the Morgan Greer. This deck was created in the, I believe, 70s, and so it is taking the tarot and putting a modern spin on it from the perspective of the 70s. It's very medieval coded, and I honestly, I love this deck so much. But the guidebook for the Morgan Greer Tarot is a lot shorter than the Modern Witch one. So I'm going to read the 9 of Rods is a card of strength, readiness to meet oppression boldly, and a victory after a struggle. So right there, that tells you everything that you need to know. You may be struggling with your skin. You may be struggling with acne, or maybe something else. Maybe it's not acne. Maybe there's something else going on with your skin, and you're struggling with it. But just know, victory is within reach. You just have to be consistent. That's, honestly, like, if there's one lesson that I have learned in life, it's twofold. One is that nothing worth doing is easy, and that sometimes the harder struggles often are the most fulfilling once you have overcome them. And that's not necessarily the case for everything, but when it comes to something like the skin, just know it is superficial. Yes, it feels like a lot. I know exactly what it's like to look in the mirror and hate what's happening to your face. As an esthetician with pretty severe and very painful adult onset hormonal acne, I had mentors comment about how bad my skin looked, and it was devastating and debilitating. And even now that my skin is relatively clear, and long term, I do occasionally get a blemish here or there. I am a living, breathing human being after all. This idea that you get to a place where your skin is perfect and it stays perfect is a complete fucking myth. It's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie that is force-fed down our throats via social media, and it's bullshit. One of my mottos is, there is no such thing as perfect skin, but healthy skin is perfect. And that's what the 9 of Rods, or the 9 of Wands, is reminding us today. It's that victory is within reach. Nothing is permanent. Everything is cyclical. And eventually you will overcome whatever this hurdle is that you're going through. Even if sometimes it feels like you're taking a step or two back, everything is temporary and everything will be resolved in your favor. Woof, this episode ended up being a lot longer than I expected to, but that's fine. We're coming on to the end here. Hang tight with me, guys. All right. Whether you're 13, 30, or parenting a hormonal tornado with a toothbrush in one hand and a benzoyl wipe in the other, I hope this episode reminded you that skincare doesn't have to be harsh, complicated, or overwhelming. You don't need to fix your skin. You need to support it with gentle products, simple rituals, and a hell of a lot of patience. If you are looking for product recs, starter routines, or a treatment plan for your teen, my DMs are always open. If you are a teen listening to this, you are doing so much better than you think you are, and your skin is not your enemy. And if you're a parent, you are doing a great job. This stuff is not easy, but you don't have to navigate it alone. Next week, we are officially heading back to school, Skin Witch style, with fresh rituals, resets, and some cozy witchy wisdom for rebooting your routine without losing your mind. Until then, be kind to your skin, speak gently to yourself, and remember, glow isn't perfection, it's presence. I love you. Goodbye.